The Auto Sheet Feeder is an accessory machine compatible with the Cameo 4 and Portrait 3. The Auto Sheet Feeder loads material sheets into your cutting machine automatically, so you can cut, sketch, and create with multiple sheets without needing to load each one into the machine individually. We'll review what's included with the Auto Sheet Feeder, show you how to set it up, and demonstrate how you can cut multiple sheets at once. The machine is powered and connects to your computer and cutting machine using the USB ports on the right side of the machine. The tray at the top of the machine is where you'll place your material to be fed through to your silhouette machine. When you send a job to your machine, it will be fed through the Auto Sheet Feeder and into the silhouette machine for matless cutting. Only matless cutting is compatible with the Auto Sheet Feeder. That's for both kiss cut and pop-out cut. When each sheet is finished cutting, it will be ejected out of the silhouette machine and underneath the Auto Sheet Feeder or out the back side of the machine for you to collect. These things are included in the box: the Auto Sheet Feeder, the base, the power divider, and a short USB cable. The Auto Sheet Feeder base keeps the machine stable and aligned during loading. On the base, these two holes are for the Cameo feet. These two holes are for the Portrait feet. These two raised poles are for holding the Auto Sheet Feeder when using the Cameo. And these two raised poles are for supporting the Auto Sheet Feeder with the Portrait. Place the Auto Sheet Feeder base on the table. Line up the feet of your cutting machine with the correct holes in the Auto Sheet Feeder base. You may find it helpful to tilt the cutting machine up to guide you as you place it onto the base. Place the Auto Sheet Feeder onto the raised poles using the holes at the bottom and back of the machine. Your Auto Sheet Feeder is now locked into place. Lift the front feet of the Auto Sheet Feeder when using it with the Cameo. Leave the feet collapsed when using the Portrait. The Auto Sheet Feeder comes with a power splitter and a short USB cable. It uses your cutting machine's power cable to operate, and the USB cable connects your cutting machine to the Auto Sheet Feeder so the two can communicate. Plug your machine's power cable into the outlet. Instead of plugging it into your cutting machine, plug it into the end of the power splitter. Plug one half of the power splitter into the cutting machine and the other into the Auto Sheet Feeder. Using the short USB cord that comes with the Auto Sheet Feeder, plug the unique end into your cutting machine and the USB end into the Auto Sheet Feeder. Using the long USB cord that came with your cutting machine, plug the unique end into the Auto Sheet Feeder and the USB end into your computer. Bluetooth connectivity is not compatible with the Auto Sheet Feeder. With the Auto Sheet Feeder assembled and powered on, plug it into your computer. Your computer will recognize that you've plugged in the Auto Sheet Feeder and ask you if you want to switch to it as the active machine. In the Page Setup panel, select Auto as the machine choice. You'll be able to edit designs and job settings as normal with the Auto Sheet Feeder as your active machine. There are only a few new features in the Send panel that are needed to operate the Auto Sheet Feeder. Select your material from the drop-down menu as normal. The Auto Sheet Feeder can be used with sticker paper, photo paper, printable vinyl, and heat transfer, and other materials that are compatible with matless cutting. The maximum number of sheets you can load into the Auto Sheet Feeder at once depends on your material thickness. The Auto Sheet Feeder can hold up to 4.4 millimeters of material, and sheets can be up to 1/4 millimeter thick. You can cut more sheets of thinner material, while you may only be able to load a few thick pieces of cardstock. Only load as many sheets as can comfortably fit into the auto sheet feeder tray. Do not overload the machine. With the auto sheet feeder set as your active machine, the only difference you'll see in the send panel is the option to set how many copies you wish to cut. Set the copies setting to the number of sheets you wish to cut. Hit send as normal. The auto sheet feeder will load the first sheet into the cutting machine. The material may be fed forward and backward once or twice before the cutting process begins. When one sheet is finished cutting, it is ejected and a new one is loaded. The Cameo ejects the sheets below the auto sheet feeder, and the Portrait ejects the sheets behind the machine. You can cut different designs at once using your cutting machine's barcode scanner. All users can access barcodes when the auto sheet feeder is connected to Silhouette Studio. When the machine scans your page for registration marks, it will also scan the barcode printed onto the page to identify which cut job needs to be accessed. This feature can be used for both print and cut and standard cuts. Even if you are not cutting around a printed design, you will need to print the registration marks and barcode onto your page to utilize this feature. To enable barcodes, go to the Page Setup panel and click on the Registration Marks tab. Toggle Registration Marks on. At the bottom of the panel, check the box that says Enable Barcode on this design. A barcode will appear on the left side of the virtual media. Your design should not overlap with the barcode, just as it should not overlap the hash marks indicating the no-cut area. Edit and print your design as normal. In the Send panel, set the number of barcode pages to be cut as the number of copies. Instead of pressing Send, press the barcode icon that appears next to the Send button. Curled materials may not load through the auto sheet feeder properly. To remove curls from curved sheets, roll the material in the opposite direction to reduce the curve. Static electricity may impact the auto sheet feeder's ability to operate. Reduce static electricity by separating your sheets and allowing air to flow between them before loading. If your material gets stuck or jammed at any point, pull the two tabs on the top tray of the machine to release the tray cover and pull the material from the auto sheet feeder. Do not try to lift this tray cover further after opening it. Doing so will damage the machine. For more information about your new auto sheet feeder, visit the Silhouette YouTube channel or our blog at silhouette101.com. Please contact our customer service team on our website or at support@silhouetteamerica.com for additional technical support.